Hey guys, I know it's been a while, but y'all probably wondering why I didn't upload a week 11 injection video, because I had my last video was week 10 injection, and that was like the last week of June. Well, unfortunately, I ended up in the hospital unexpectedly for a very rare complication that can be caused by GLP-1s. Now, this isn't a fault of either the company, Wellmedr, or the pharmacy that compounds them. That I developed this very rare complication that's referred to as acidosis, which I never even heard of. And I was actually kind of surprised when they had told me about this after running lab and blood work, and they did like a CT scan of my abdomen and stuff. And yeah, so it was on July 2nd when I went into the hospital. I went into the ER, just walked in. And I was experiencing what I thought was like typical side effects of the injections, which was like nausea, abdominal pain, had like diarrhea going on, stomach cramps like everywhere, like on my abdomen. It was pretty severe from underneath my ribs on down to my lower abdomen. And I tried to fight through it for like 3 days before July 2nd, and I just couldn't bear it anymore. So I usually only go into the hospital if it was like the last resort. So I went in on July 2nd, which I believe was Thursday. And yeah, so here's my patient chart I was going to show y'all guys. And this is not the company's fault. So I'm in no way bashing the company or anything that has to do with like the medication I was on. But my dose that I was on was 7.5 milligrams of Tirzepatide. And I was on week 3, I believe. So, I wanted to show you guys my chart. Now this is my chart's under my old name, so as you can see, there's me right there, and then there is the July 2nd, and that's the diagnosis right there. So it shows metabolic acidosis, starvation ketosis. So those are two different diagnoses with two different causes, and I'm gonna go to my lab reports. Now I have like 3 or 4 pages of blood draws. Let me see if I can go back to the one. Sorry, this is like a lot of pages. Just kind of bear with me. I'm just trying to navigate through all these pages. Now, the main thing that I was told that shows the acidosis is something called anion gap. And this was taken on the day I went into the ER. And as you can see, it might be backwards because of the camera, but you can see anion gap. That was my high level, and that was in my blood collection right here. It's 24.4. And as you can see, a normal amount is between 5 and 15. So mine was like nearly like double the normal amount, as you can see right here. So what the doctor had told me when they had put me on fluids and after they did all these blood draws is that he told me I was experiencing what he said was acidosis, and that can be caused by any GLP-1, no matter if it's compounded or prescribed or wherever you get it from. And I told him I never heard about that. And I did have some other lab reports that were low. Some of them were high. Like my carbon dioxide was low, chloride showed high, blood urea nitrogen, which is BUN, it was low, it was under 5. And it should be between 9 and 23, it says on here. Of course, I'm not a medical expert, but I have like several pages of blood draws. But yeah, so, and when I checked in and they did my vitals, my heart rate was like 122 beats per minute. So I felt pretty like that when I checked in. So I was not feeling good that late morning when I went in there. And let me see, I can go back. Oh, I actually went all the way back. Let me see. And I don't see much going on here about the ketosis, like starvation ketosis. Now, at the time when I was sick, I wasn't eating much because I was eating maybe a few bites of food for like every other meal in the day, which that wasn't really nothing at all. So that's probably where the ketosis came from, which I'm not really worried about it because I always ate like a keto diet type of like nutrition plan or whatever you want to call it. So I wasn't worried about the ketosis part. They didn't really explain much about that either, but I'm pretty sure it had something to do with me eating very little. And it was for that week too. So like days before I got real bad, like what I thought were side effects. And also when I was there, they diagnosed me with a secondary infection, which is called Campylobacter jejuni, I think it's called, which is like a food poisoning. And it was a intestinal infection. So the diarrhea was coming from that. So it wasn't necessarily from the injections. It was a secondary infection that was going on. So it was not the company's fault either. But I had to be on like 3 days worth of IV antibiotics to treat that. And I was discharged on July 6th. So I was in the hospital for like 4 days. Trying to see, I'm just reviewing my information. And I did have some other issues on my blood work. My potassium was like really low, it was like at 3, but that was because of the diarrhea I was having. I'm just looking through what they were putting on my chart. One of them shows adverse effect of other hormones and synthetic substitutes initial encounters. I wonder if that's probably them indirectly saying that the tirzepatide was causing a complication. And it says metabolic acidosis increased anion gap. That was a visit diagnosis along with a bunch of other ones from my labs from on July 6th. But yeah, so all my side effects went away by like the 5th or 6th of July, except for like some stomach cramping. And then I stopped having the diarrhea. The antibiotics fixed the issue with the infection. And they didn't tell me much about the infection. Like I had to look up how it is contracted. And they basically, online it says it was something that I ate. But the last thing I ate that was poultry related was chicken hearts, and I ate that on June 30th, which that would kind of correlate the incubation, they call it, before you start getting sick, is that that kind of correlates the timeline of when I started having the issue with going to the bathroom frequently throughout the day, the diarrhea. But yeah, and today is, I'm not very good with dates, y'all. Today is the 11th. So I have an appointment on the 13th on Monday. And they're just I'm going to be seeing my PCP. So she'll probably go over what had happened in the hospital and see what maybe more lab work that they might want to do to recheck everything. It's been like quite a few days since I've been out of the hospital now. And that's why I didn't do the injection video for week 11, because they told me to hold off on the tirzepatide for now, to make sure that my acidosis was resolved before I decide anything. So, and I do plan on getting back on the injections. You know, a lot of people call me crazy. But, yeah, so like, everything is gone except for like some stomach cramping, like from the like right below my ribs. And it usually only comes now when I eat something. And they cleared me for pancreatitis. Like I even asked the doctor when she last saw me that morning when I got discharged if they did check me for it, because I had it before. She said, yeah, and I seen the lab on here where they checked my enzymes for it and it was normal, so I didn't have pancreatitis. So I don't know why I'm getting like cramps, and I had my gallbladder moved too, so I don't know why I'm still getting like cramps up there. But the things I ate after the hospital was like a lot of soups, like chicken soups, like the ones you can microwave, like the little cups. I had those for like quite a few days after I got out. And then I started sampling some salads, like I was able to tolerate it when I got my food tray, and I would just pick out my protein, and I wouldn't eat any carbs off my tray because I don't do carbs. I'm still like keto, so I mean, I was able to tolerate the food with like a lot of medication when I got my stomach straightened out. But yeah, like I greatly improved after I had the antibiotics. And the only issue I feel now is the stomach cramping when I eat. So it wasn't caused by, like, I'm in no way attacking the company at all, period, like at all. Like, it was just a very rare complication. If you look it up, anybody on a GLP-1, whether it's pills or injection, and no matter where you get it from, anybody can experience that. So I just happened to be a freak case where out of nowhere I developed the acidosis. And he didn't tell me or go much into detail about how a GLP-1 can cause that, but that's still something I'm looking into. But I'm going to see about restarting at the lowest dose and not going up any further than beyond 5 milligrams, because I was at 7.5 when this happened. So I'm thinking that maybe my dose was too high for my system. And I'm going to ask this stuff maybe like when I see my doctor on Monday and see what she has to say, even though she's not really on board with compounds, like most doctors aren't, because they're not FDA approved. But yeah. I was on NAD plus too. I did get my refill for NAD plus. I haven't got it yet for the Tirzepatide, but I'm probably gonna have it filled maybe this upcoming week after my appointment. And I might start my NAD plus again to like on Monday, like after my appointment maybe, because I don't want to inject myself with anything until I see them first. But yeah, like that's why I didn't do a week 11 injection video update. It's because I was in a hospital from the 2nd to the 6th. But yeah, like everything's pretty much resolved now. I just have like the stomach ache below my ribs, like when I try to eat something. And I went back to eating some hard-boiled eggs, like stacking on them throughout the day with like my sugar-free like barbecue sauce, which I typically ate when I was at this last job I worked at. But yeah. So I'm probably going to be sticking to hard-boiled eggs, like soft foods. I was able to tolerate a salad earlier today. It went down fine. I ate it with like light ranch and some bacon bits, and it was with chopped kale. Chewed it really soft, so I guess my stomach's still going to be sensitive for a little while until I fully recover, but I'm getting a teensy bit better each day. So yeah, I'm hoping to get back on the injections. You know, I'm not mad at all of the shots, you know. It was just a freak accident, you know. But yeah, like I only injected in my stomach, so if you think your stomach might be kind of sensitive if you're approaching these injections, don't be freaked out at all. That was just a very rare incident that happened. My parents are both on FDA approved GLP-1s. They haven't had an issue like that with acidosis, but I'm gonna see about going from being on 2.5 milligrams for a little while, and then if I feel like moving back up to 5 milligrams, then I'll probably do it. But I'll probably split that dose for like the first 2 weeks if I do get back on 5, and do it like maybe 2.5 milligrams like twice a week. So I'll split it like a micro dose of the 5. If I go back up to that dose, like I'll probably do 2.5 on Monday and then 2.5 maybe like on Thursday or Friday, and see how that works out. Because I'm already at near my goal weight anyway, so that's what a lot of people recommend. But yeah. If y'all guys have any questions, I'll probably do another update video, maybe like later in the week, upcoming week, about hopefully my upcoming order of Tirzepatide again, and then about what she had recommended, and then see basically go from there. But that's why I haven't been on YouTube in a while, and I haven't done any of my videos in a long time, because that's what happened to me. But don't be freaked out. Like my case was a very rare incident. If you look it up, any GLP-1 can cause it. That's what they told me, and I've seen it online as well. But yeah, like, if y'all guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. I'm just basically signing off my account right now. And, yeah, guys. So, I'm feeling pretty good right now. I've been drinking fluids as the same. I normally don't eat anything pasta related, but the soups I had ate was let me show you guys, was these. They do have a lot of noodles in them, so I was able to tolerate, you know, trying those. And then I had these right here. These don't have much noodles in them. They're mostly broth, so those are real good to have if you're not looking to eat much. But yeah. If y'all guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. I'll be back to doing some injections pretty soon. And then I'll update y'all guys on what happens to my appointment on Monday, okay? Bye, guys.